Runga.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise in joyous celebration today, Mr Deputy Speaker. Joyous celebration for the electorate in Narungga and the people, particularly on the southern part of the Yorke Peninsula. Joyous celebration about an election commitment promised and an election commitment delivered. It was one of my enduring memories of the 2018 election campaign. One of my enduring memories was a packed Yorktown Town Hall decrying the removal of surgical services from the Yorktown Hospital. Mr Deputy Speaker, there must have been over 600 people in this hall. It was full from floor to ceiling, and all were extraordinarily passionate that they needed their local health services retained. So, as I said, it was a full town hall. A petition was launched and available for signing upon entry to the hall, and was eventually presented to this place, carrying almost 2,050 signatures. So, Mr Deputy Speaker, it was a tremendous honour recently to attend a small, low-key event which sort of defied the significance of the occasion, which marked the opening of a brand new surgery procedure room at the Yorktown Hospital. It is a tremendous honour to have delivered a brand new surgery theatre procedure room so that surgery can commence, and I can report that locals are absolutely overjoyed that there have been a number of lists already completed this year. It cannot be overstated how important it is to keep regional health facilities up to standard and well maintained so that such services can continue. So often, Mr Deputy Speaker, as you would well know, city-based decision-makers don't appropriately appreciate the distances between towns and services, and that while our Yorke Peninsula might look small while they're surveying it on a map, there's some 30,000 people that live there and 230 kilometres long. So when services are removed, it means a great deal for travelling families that have to go hours for alternative solutions. So this, as I said, was a major commitment that I fought terribly hard to get in the lead up to the election. It was to upgrade the theatre with a brand new decontamination unit, procedure room, upgraded drying cabinets and air conditioning and compliance upgrades that now all means more efficient and safer care closer to home for the people of the southern Yorke Peninsula. I can report, Mr Deputy Speaker, that since becoming the member for Narungga, regional health services and the importance of improving and maintaining them has been the #1 topic that I have been contacted about, and the one which I feel the most compelled to make a real difference for my constituents and the towns and communities in which we live. Their whole populations rely on the delivery of appropriate levels of health services, and regions that cannot provide reliable, adequate health services and hospitals will die, because it is an undisputed fact that the families, retirees, the elderly, all age groups will not choose to live in an area where they cannot confidently access health services that they need. They will move to where they can see they'll receive care when they need it, and with such population shifts come subsequent small business closures, job losses, school closures, loss of services across the board, and domino economic and social consequences. No, rural people do not expect to be able to access all specialities close to home, but they do expect to have a relatively near accident emergency facility, have a GP to go to, and be able to have relatively minor surgical procedures done without the need to travel hundreds of kilometres. So, as I've said, the local people down in the southern part of the Yorke Peninsula are overjoyed that the Yorktown Hospital has experienced this upgrade and that the election commitment that we promised leading up to 2018 has been delivered. But it is an ongoing battle across the state for rural services, and rural people appear constantly on guard against getting more cuts all the time. Whilst not in Narungga, Balaclava Hospital is now facing the same fight as Yorktown did back in 2017, just having lost their theatre and being fed the line that it's because the demand is not there, it's not being used enough. Because the facility hasn't been maintained to appropriate standards in order for services to be provided there, it's declared a risk. It's about closing services by stealth, withdrawing what's on offer and threatening the economic viability of rural doctors and, by extension, service deliveries to patients. So it was pleasing to reverse this decision that Transforming Health would have had on the Yorktown Hospital, and for these services, I'm thrilled that they have been, and to speak here today in commendation of all the local people who fought for the restoration, who attended meetings, signed petitions, met with my predecessor Stephen Griffiths and myself, and spurred on the support and noise to reach this outcome. I'd particularly like to pay homage to the Friends of the Yorktown Hospital, who do a terrific job fundraising and supporting that hospital and the people that work in it. It is a win for the people, and whilst the wait has been long, it has been worth it. Inroads into the huge backlog of maintenance in country hospitals are being made, and I applaud these efforts. I will now begin advocating, or continue to advocate, for a new accident emergency space at Yorktown, which is struggling to function in the space that it currently exists. Thankfully, restoration of procedures like colonoscopies being available at Yorketown is now off the to-do list and has been met warmly by local residents.